It has finally happened. Bitcoin has slipped below that $20,000 level. It happened way sooner than I expected for sure, but here we are. We are now officially below $20,000, and I want to break down for you everything that I'm seeing in this chart. A lot of people are completely losing their shit right now. They have no idea what's going on. They are running around like headless chickens, but we're here to, again, ground ourselves. This is fine. We are going to understand absolutely everything that's been going on in this market from top to bottom right now in this video. If you're excited for that, if you want to do this with me right now, then do me a favor and smash up the likes. Just check that you are subscribed as well, that you got the bell ticked, so that you don't miss out on these uploads, because they're very, very time sensitive. Now, the first thing that I just want to highlight and bring to your attention is to do with the support levels. When we fell below $20,000, we collapsed right down through the two key areas of support that I was watching pretty much. And there are a few more. I mean, we did end up finding some support at about, roughly, I was talking about the 18.5k level, roughly somewhere around there. I think just literally in the last YouTube video, so those of you who are subscribed are going to know that, this was a potential bounce zone for Bitcoin, but don't get too excited by this, ladies and gents. I mean, the fact that we got a bounce now is good, but there's just not much liquidity here until we drop much, much lower down to potentially towards that $14,000 level, which is what you guys heard me saying. And it's not something to be worried about. It's definitely not, because we're visualizing this market in terms of levels, right? If you remember, one of the key things I've been talking about over this last week, basically, I've been talking about how it's very, very important. It is essential to visualize this market in terms of levels, not prices. Because if you look at Bitcoin now at 19,000 and then you think about 14k, that's going to be fucking terrifying. I mean, you're looking at potentially losing another, 30% of your money again. So that's a lot of losing. But when you visualize it in terms of levels, it's just a lot easier to understand that you can get right back up fairly easily. The same way that Bitcoin's been crashing down, ladies and gents, it should be able to rise back up, because the only reason we're dropping down so quickly is because we have no support. Well, in this case we did have support, and we've just plunged right through it. So that, admittedly, is a very bad sign. But in areas where we don't have support, we can't expect resistance either, so we should be able to rise back up. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent about that just yet. There's something else that's very important that I want to take a look at, and it is to do with the CME chart. So what I'm going to do is type in Bitcoin USD here. Actually, I'm just going to remove this and open up the CME futures chart. This is important, right? This sell-off basically happened Friday night, which I find hilarious, because you basically got people panic selling, capitulating in this market on a fucking Friday night. It's I don't know, it's just funny how the crypto market moves sometimes. We are just a bunch of fucking degenerates at the end of the day, really, aren't we? But the CME chart right here at 20,625 this is where the CME chart closed when it finished its trading on Friday. It's going to open in about a day and a half from now, roughly, when I'm going to be uploading the YouTube video. And that means if we are basically anywhere below $20,000, my camera might fall, this is awkward. If we're anywhere below basically $20,000, we're going to print a gap on the chart. And that is something that I'm going to be watching out for, because if there is a gap on the chart, it could be, like if the next candle kind of like opens over here and we're kind of trading around right here. Generally, if you've been around in this space for a while, you're going to know. By the way, let me know, have you been around in this space for long enough to remember the CME drama? Generally, if there is a gap in the market when the market opens, because the thing is Bitcoin is a 24/7 market. You almost never see gaps unless there's an error by the exchange. But with CME, it literally stops trading, with normal business hours in the United States. Sort of normal business hours. And so while Bitcoin keeps moving, it can end up leaving gaps on this chart when the CME chart reopens, right? And generally these gaps end up getting filled. So that's kind of the main silver lining that I'm seeing here. Penetrating the $20,000 level is such a big deal that I would have to expect that we're going to fill this CME gap. We don't have to. There's no reason to do so. It just happens to be the case that we generally fill these CME gaps. There are a few way lower. I think there was one at like the 6k or 9k region. I'm gonna have to refresh my memory on this. There are a few way lower than here in terms of CME gaps on this market, but you know, let's get to talking about that a little bit later. Look at that Ethereum just at $999. I bet a lot of us didn't think that we'd be seeing this anytime soon. Really, just quite a spectacular time in the market right now. Let me just make sure that I'm not missing anything. So yeah, CME gap, definitely something that is worth paying attention to. Now, one of the things that could end up being a problem for Bitcoin, and I literally said this yesterday, is that, you know, if we do end up dropping below the $20,000 level, you know, the Ichimoku resistance is just going to shoot down. It's just going to drop down, and that's exactly what happened, you know. So if we do end up coming back up now, you know, there's quite a bit I mean, there's quite a chance, if according to what I'm seeing, that we could end up seeing a rise directly into resistance levels, and then perhaps some more problems for the market. I would like to think that these are fake outs. You know, one of the things that I've noticed here is with our fear and greed index, we're at a reading of 6, and this reading was updated before we dropped below $20,000. So it's going to be super interesting if we're still here within the next 12-13 hours. It's going to be super interesting to see what actually happens in terms of this fear and greed rating. This is the second lowest reading that we've ever had on the fear and greed index on this website. So quite a time right now. I mean, this is history. This is history being made right now. This is a very, very significant phase in the market, and obviously, you know, if you're prepared to trade this well and so on, you're going to be totally calm and happy, as we are right here on this side. But if not, you're going to be one of the people that are filling the pockets of those who are calm and stable at a time like this. If you want to be able to jump inside of VIP, see how we've been able to pull it off, and just continue to join us on this journey as we're navigating these very, very rough waters, I'd like to think we've been doing it very, very well. I mean, obviously, I, just like everyone else, got fucked on Bitcoin losing against the dollar, but my Bitcoin holdings have actually been going up, and that to me is the only thing that's important, because I fully expect that Bitcoin is going to return back to its all-time high. And again, the key point that I want to keep making with you guys is that if you start off in this bear market with perhaps 1 Bitcoin, and then you come out of it with 2 Bitcoins, if Bitcoin gets back up to that all-time high, you're not going to have $70,000. You're going to have $140,000 because you've been multiplying your Bitcoin holdings. So doing that at a time like this is incredibly powerful. I've seen it happen a million times, right? One of our guys that joined VIP, who became a millionaire, he started off with $7,000, if I'm remembering correctly, or 30,000. I think it was 30,000. Yeah, he started off with $30,000, and he managed to pull a 6 times gain on his own, just by trading, joining VIP, going through our academy. He never knew how to trade, by the way. This was his first time trading. And he went through our course. Very, very interesting guy. He took our yearly package. That's our top of the line package. You get phone calls with me. He didn't actually have that when he joined, but now all yearly members can even get phone calls with me whenever you like. We'll set them up ASAP. And what this person did was, he didn't even trade for 1 month. He just observed VIP. He went through our course. He learned everything from top to bottom diligently, just going through what we've given him, nothing more. And then he managed to pull off a 6 times gain as a trader. But the crazy part was that Bitcoin also pulled a 6 times gain, and so he ended up seeing 6 times 6. That's a 36 times ROI. And you do the math, ladies and gents. A 36 times ROI on 30 grand is going to make you a millionaire. And it took this guy 10 months to achieve that. So big testament to, you know, like, you focus on your own thing, you make your trading good. If you believe in Bitcoin going back up to its all-time high, which I'm still completely unshaken in, you know, you are flying very, very high if you're able to pull that kind of thing off. It's all about just knowing that you've got a pair of balls down there, you're not getting scared in this market, and you're sticking to the bloody game plan. That's it. That's all it takes. We've had this game plan set out for a very, very long time, and I'd like to think, yeah, we're just executing on it. pretty smoothly. So if you do want to jump inside, you're still getting huge discounts available on VIP right now just by following these steps on screen. There you go. You already know the deal. Let's bring it back to the chart though, and the thing is yeah, like I said, a lot of lagging resistance potentially catching up to the trend at the moment. I am actually somewhat surprised that this dump wasn't stronger. I would have expected that if $20,000 as a support level collapsed, that we'd probably drop down a little bit more aggressively than that. The other thing that's surprising me even more right now, and ladies and gents, I'm not even going to try and beat around the bush here, I just don't fucking understand it, is that the altcoin market, in some cases, seems to be holding up better than Bitcoin. If we take a look at the Bitcoin prices of a lot of these coins, you're going to start to see some interesting things. Take a look at Binance coin against Bitcoin. Obviously, this is one coin that I traded recently and booked a small profit on. I'm looking to do that again. Look at that shooting up against Bitcoin. This is only over the past 5 days. Binance coin has gained 10%, a little bit more, I'm sorry, 15% of value against Bitcoin here. That's a big increase, right? I'm sure dominance is probably dropping as well. Yeah, dominance is down to 43.5. It was at 47 just about a week ago, right? So that's quite a drop right there. Other coins as well doing, pretty well actually in terms of their Bitcoin valuations. Look at this, ladies and gents. This is speculation right here. I mean, fucking 5 days, it's up by 37% against Bitcoin. This is Cardano right here. That's huge. I mean, against the dollar, it's doing horribly still. It's not doing anything interesting whatsoever, but it's holding its dollar level while Bitcoin keeps slipping. I mean, that is huge. That's a huge sign of, dare I say, investor confidence. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gents, if you've got a trader that's losing money on Bitcoin, and then they're still speculating in a more risky market like Ethereum, Cardano, Binance coin, XRP, even XRP. Look at this. XRP holding up. XRP is not... Bitcoin is the only major that I'm seeing here that's at a brand new fucking low. Bitcoin's the only one, ladies and gents, because everything else here, I mean, Binance coin's sitting pretty over $200. Ethereum, yeah, Ethereum swung down with Bitcoin, to be fair. Ethereum wasn't able to shake it off, but the rest of these altcoins, who's speculating on these things, ladies and gents? That's what I'm wondering. One of the theories is obviously, all the liquidity just got sucked out of these coins already, and you really do, I mean, because they've already dropped so much stronger, so much more than Bitcoin. They're so much further down than Bitcoin is from its all-time high. The speculation here is that, well, anyone that would have sold has already sold. Personally, I don't believe that. I think that's complete bullshit. I think that, this capitulation can happen again for sure, because at the end of the day, the only thing you need is no buyers. That's it. If you don't have buyers, but you've got a steady, stable line of supply, the price is still going to tank. It's still going to tank, ladies and gents, and that is something which, yeah, I don't know. Maybe people are just ignoring it and not even paying attention to these signs right here. Here's something that you shouldn't be ignoring, though. This is, I gotta hide my camera for this so you can see this properly. These are two charts right here. The first one was Bitcoin in 2018, where it consolidated at the $6,000 level right here, and then in now, in 2022, where we have essentially consolidated a little bit, and what we're pointing to right here with this chart is that we did initially drop down. We consolidated on this chart for 7 days. This chart is somewhat misleading. This chart is on the 2-day time frame, and this chart is on the 1-hour time frame. So it's not actually misleading, but I should have told you about that when I showed you the chart at first. The time frames are not the same. However, what we did right here was with a very large pattern. I need you guys to understand the sense of scale right here. I mean, this pattern is only how do I say, a fraction of what actually happened. It went on for much longer, but this chart stretches basically from July to November. This one stretches only about 5 days. So, you know, they're not the same. But what we are looking at, which I think is important, is simply that we ended up almost consolidating at a low. We were trying to punch up above resistance, couldn't quite manage it, and then we just stabilized right at the bottom, just like we did over here. And that was followed by, initially, a relatively small 10%, or in this case, 7% drop, followed by a much bigger drop that happened afterwards. So the question is, are we here? And there is good reason to believe that we might be. There's good reason to believe that we might be. I want to recap it with you. It's nothing that I haven't already spoken about. So if you are subscribed already, you're going to know all about this. So if we take a look at what happened back in 2020, we're going to be able to see, 2017, we're going to be able to see a little bit about our support range. Actually, yeah, let's start with 2020. This is where a lot of the important consolidation happened. You know, we didn't actually have a lot of trading happening in this range. If we just replay the chart back, switch it onto a smaller time frame so we can really get close to the action and see exactly what was going on. You know, we had this range of consolidation that stretched basically right between where we bounced off from today at 18.7 to the high at $20,000. But beyond that, I mean, it was pretty much just a straight leg up, a straight leg down, another straight leg up. You know, these things don't print reversal zones. I mean, the only thing that you'd get for a reversal zone here would be, you know, the fact that we had a little bit of resistance here, which lined up with a little bit of support right here. Maybe you can count this as part of the same range, so we can just draw a box that, and I'm grabbing at straws here, ladies and gents. This is not sound analysis in my opinion. You know, I'm trying to make something work from this, but the reality is there's just not good support here. There's just not good support here. And that's going to remain the case until we get down to about that $14,000 level. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to go there. This is just my technical analysis, right? Realistically, we're way too far overextended right now. We're way too far overextended. If you look at how much Bitcoin has dropped and you compare it to how much the US dollar has risen, it's not proportionate. It's absolutely not proportionate. If you look at how much Bitcoin has dropped and you compare it to how much the S&P 500 has also dropped, it's not proportionate. It doesn't add up. Now, it doesn't mean that we aren't going to, like I said, I want to make this point very, very clear. It doesn't mean that we aren't going to keep dropping down. We very well could, and technically we should. That's what this chart is showing us right now. But with such an aggressive series of sell-offs like this, if you're not at least being aware that we might get something very aggressive to the upside, just to, you know, screw a lot of traders, make a lot of people believe that perhaps this market is going to recover, and so on and so forth, and then potentially trigger a little bit more pain again. If you're not open to the idea, if you're not expecting it, if you think we're just gonna keep dropping down in a straight line, you're gonna have a surprise coming for you. That's all I got to say. That's all I've got to say. Because you know, like I said, I've been in these markets for over 5 years now, and you just don't see. You know, could this be another Black Swan event? Yeah, sure, but I don't like to make predictions that Black Swan events come every fucking Monday. You know, like, let's be honest, ladies and gents, Black Swan events are exactly that. They're Black Swan events. They're not going to be happening every time that you want something dramatic on the chart. And I think that ought to be acknowledged a little bit more than perhaps most people are saying right now. Look at this sell-off right here, ladies and gents. We've got one big leg of capitulation. I mean, this is 1 week we're losing 26%, and right here, pretty much the same kind of time frame. Within 1 week we're losing about 30%, and we stretch it down to 11 days and we've lost 40%. I mean, this is these are big sell-offs. The fear and greed index is at 6, for fuck's sakes. Like, to me, it doesn't matter what the price levels are. It doesn't matter if we're at 19 or if we're at 12 or if we're at 24. The fact of the matter is, we've sold off so aggressively here. Everything is down in the dumps. Everything is down in the dumps. And I just don't see this kind of thing continuing. I don't see it this kind of thing continuing, and I have to expect that there's going to be some sort of explosive rubber banding taking place right here on this chart. So that is what I'm going to be looking out for. Let me just make sure that I haven't missed anything as well on this chart right here. Bear with me right now as I take a look at this. yeah, that's yeah, similar story for Ethereum as well. And so really we bring this back to the 2018 chart, and you know, this chart that I was showing you right here about, you know, potentially seeing a similar drop. Technically all those signs are there. I said the same thing yesterday. Technically all of these signs are there, but obviously, I mean, this is a I mean, if I put this on a chart with a little bit less drawings, you know, this is a very aggressive series of selling action without any relief. You know, I mean, we don't, last time the price dropped by 51%, and it triggered a nice rally. I actually made a fair bit of money on it as well, because I traded Ethereum on this rally. You guys know how that went with that 200% profit. That was very, very cool indeed. Now, from that point, we have dropped a little bit more than the first 51% crash right here. This was a 51% drop. We've now dropped by 60%. And let's take a look at time frames as well. I'm curious, right? So from this all-time high to the low that we set, it took 76 days. From this high to the low that we're at today, we're at about 80 days. So it's roughly the same time frame. These are actually, like, I don't want to call them slow. They're not slow, but we've had a lot of consolidation in between. I mean, if we segment the chart and look at what's really been going on here, it's basically an aggressive sell-off followed by shit trading just in a slow zone, followed by another aggressive sell-off, followed by shit trading in a slow zone, followed by another aggressive sell-off. I mean, that is this is the weapon of choice to destroy the psychology, the headspace of traders in this space right now. My God, ladies and gents, if you are keeping a solid mind right now, you are so far ahead of the curve that you probably don't even understand it. But that's okay. I'm here to tell you that, and tell you that you do deserve some credit for this. You do, because if you're still keeping a steady head, if you're not even feeling fear right now, because I'll be honest, ladies and gents, I thought I'd be quite worried if Bitcoin fell below 20. I'm not. I'm actually not. I'm seeing so much fear. I'm seeing so much just resignation from people in this space right now. You know, every time I've seen this before, guess what, ladies and gents? They haven't been right. They haven't been right. You know, I say this all the time. I don't like being the guy that agrees with every fucking other guy in the room. Not as a trader. That's not who I'm trying to be. Because if you're agreeing with everybody that's putting out analysis, well, then you're probably wrong with them. Because most people are going to be wrong. So that's my take there. That's what I'm seeing. In terms of actual next moves, I'm still leaning towards seeing that recovery. I know that we don't have a lot of support in this range, and I am a bit worried about that. I think that if we lose 18, that's going to kind of be, you know, take a look at this line right here. 18 is important. I think that if we lose 18, up here, sorry, this is where the line is, you know, there is basically nothing that's happened between 18,000 and down here 14,000, so don't be surprised if we do get that next leg down, just because technically there isn't any support. However, you know, we are in a bit of a bounce right now, and I am optimistic to see how high this can go. Depending on where this bounce goes, if it does end up actually going quite high, and by quite high I'm talking kind of like mid-20s to high 20s, if it does start rallying back up into those zones, that's going to give us a lot of firepower to analyze this market with a very, very clear lens. So I'm actually quite excited to see something like that happening. It wouldn't mean that we're out of the bear market or anything like that, but it would, I think, shine a very, very positive light on the market in terms of just carrying out good analysis and seeing really, really healthy trading setups. So I am very, very close to entering my next trade. I'm looking at the altcoin market and Bitcoin and, of course, Ethereum as well for what to do. We've got quite a few things planned where I'm just watching a few key levels before I pull the trigger on something. That, as usual, is only going inside of 𝗤𝗡ly's VIP. So if you want to check it out with our discount, you can do so by clicking on the first link in the description down below and then clicking on my name at the bottom of any post inside of 𝗤𝗡ly's Gold. This first link will take you into 𝗤𝗡ly's Gold. This is my free Telegram channel where I'm giving you more analysis around the clock. Again, completely free of charge. So if you like this content, you're gonna love this. We go into further depth and we relate it to trading a little bit more as well. So if you're actually somebody that has money in the market, this is going to be very, very useful for you. And VIP takes that just to a whole different dimension because it's only about the trading, really. I'm sharing all of my analysis pieces, of course, because I am an analyst as well. But what I'm doing with that analysis is making trades, and those trades go only into VIP, occasionally into gold as freebies, but it's not common. So if you do want to join VIP, then click on the send message button right there. That's going to be by following these 3 steps on screen. The first link here, and then my name, and then send message. If you want to be trading on the same platform I'm using and gain up to $600 for doing so, you're getting free cash up to $600. That's $1,000. That's all right. Just by signing up by using my link in the description and going to the rewards hub, then Bybit is your place to be. All you have to do, like I said, is sign up using my link in the description down below and head to the rewards hub in Bybit, and you will get $600 just for signing up using my link right there. So go ahead and check that out. It's free money. It's very useful at a time like this, as you might imagine, and obviously you can trade with it. You can do whatever you like with it. I keep saying this. I don't, it's difficult, but I am quite likely to make another video later on today. I would like to do a live stream, although unfortunately my connection speeds seem to be very bad. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to hold a live stream just at the moment, but I am going to try and work that out. Definitely make sure that you are subscribed for the next pieces of content. We've actually got a very interesting piece on Bitcoin that I'm thinking of making a video on. It's already actually planned, so that might be later on today. Still got to look at the altcoin market as well. Very, very interesting what's going on in the altcoin market. So there's a lot to go through, and I'll see you all in the next one for that. So between now and then, make sure you have hit up the like button, subscribed, tick the bell, did all that good stuff. Once more, VIP available with a discount right now. Check it out by following these steps on screen. That dude who like I said became a millionaire after joining VIP. To be fair, he was already a millionaire. That's how he had achieved this from business, but he only put 30k into crypto, so he became a crypto millionaire as well, which is very, very cool. We've got people from all levels on the wealth spectrum, very high, not so high, inside of VIP, and this person was able to pull off some very, very cool results with our yearly package. Like I said, that's the one where you get phone calls with me, you get full access to our Advanced Academy course, which is alone $2,700 if you wanted to buy it without VIP. So standalone, that's quite an expensive product. You're getting it free of charge, and you're getting a whole year inside of VIP. We're not going anywhere. We've been around for a long time, and this market is staying very, very juicy to trade. So this next year, I'm optimistic for it. We do come alive. The first time I really, for those of you who don't know, who weren't here, the first time that I really blew up on YouTube as a trader was in 2018 in the bear market, when Bitcoin fell from 20,000 down to 6,000 and then to 3,000. That's where I actually was able to make my name, because I just happened to be trading it really, really well. And we've been able to do that in the subsequent bear markets too. So I'm excited for this, and I hope you are as well. This is where the good thing about bear markets are generally a little bit harder to trade, but the good thing about bear markets is that you're playing on fear. So fear is actually quite an extreme emotion. If you catch something, you can make a fucking lot of money on it. And also you've got all the technical levels already outlined. I mean, you're just dropping down to levels that you've been to before, so you can carry out really sound, good, healthy analysis, which to me is obviously very attractive. So there you go. I'm going to head off now. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.